Welcome guys. So today's session will be a short one. We just going to cover like what is a strict equality operator and what's an equality operator. Okay, let's just create a JavaScript file. Sorry. Okay, and let's just I'm just going to do quickly. I'm just going to do one equal to one. Right. So that is what I'm going to print on console now. So let's say what's the output. What a second. Okay, I just need to include that in index.html as well. Equality.js. Okay, so obviously true, guys, right? But now let me just do the same thing with enclosing my one or making my one as a string variable. Now what do you expect? For me, guys, it's false, right? Reason being, I know on the right hand side it's a string, on the left hand side it's a number, so they can never be equal. But let's see, it is still true. So that's the problem with equality operator, right? And this problem was somehow addressed through our strict equality operator, which is triple equal to. Now, what does triple equal to does is it just compares the types as well. And what does equal to does is it actually transforms the data types internally. Why it does that? For example, if double equality sees okay, it's a number on the left hand side, and then it transforms. It makes both the data types similar, and then it reports equal. Okay. So in case if it finds, because and one, right? So since JavaScript is a loosely typed language, right? So the compiler with double equal to, it just interprets okay, these two are equal values, right? And then in backend it just transforms the data types. But triple equality is a strictly type operator. It also compares the data types. So over here, this is what I can use if I have to compare both my values and my data types. But let me just run you through another scenario. So that is one major difference, guys. What about null and undefined? Right over here, I will just take this opportunity to also cover this. Is null equal to undefined? Which is obviously not, right? So it has resulted in true. Again, equal to has converted the data types internally and reported true for null equal to undefined. If you have to really get the desired result for null and undefined, you have to use triple equal operators, right? Otherwise, guys, if you would see console.log, type of null. Sorry, so this is type of null. It's an object. Okay, and similarly, type of undefined, it will be undefined. Okay, it's undefined. So, guys, we also have a concept of primitive and non-primitive data types in JavaScript. So, the primitive are the, I would say, you know, primitive data types actually doesn't, even in Java, if you see the primitive data types, because of that, your Java is not called as object-oriented programming language. Okay, so it is not fully object-oriented programming language. If someone says like Java is completely 100% object-oriented programming language, that is a false statement, guys. Reason being, if you have int, so not the one, I'm not talking about the integer object as such, right? The one which is like int, okay, float, right, double, so which are written in small letters, right? So due to these, right, Java is not a fully object-oriented programming language, and same with JavaScript. So we have primitive data types and we have non-primitive data types. Primitives are like, you can say we have null, we have boolean, number is there, then big int is there. So those are primitive data types. And non-primitive ones are objects. So basically any collection, anything that starts with new keyword, it is a non-primitive data type. Okay, so if I use a new in while creating object, it's a non-primitive one. So that's something that I wanted to cover about primitive and non-primitive, and whether JavaScript is actually fully object oriented, and even Java is not fully object oriented. So let's cover one example of object also. So let's say I have this object obj1 and my name is Rahul. All right, I have similarly the same object Now guys, for objects, we compare by a reference. If object is referring to the same, if the reference of the two objects are similar, only then objects are reported as equal in JavaScript. So let's say console.log obj1 equal to obj1. Now it's a double equality operator, so it has to compare the values, and in this case it should be reporting true. But even in triple equality case, you will have the same output. There won't be any difference, because even this is object, this is object, right? So types are same and the value also, whatever they're holding, it's equal. So in this case, we are pretty much safe and we are sorted as well. Okay, and if I just take it to 2, obviously in both the cases, whether it is double or, let's just print it with double equal to, which is false. And similarly, if I do triple equal to, obviously that will also return false. Okay, so how this is how object is compared. Object is compared through references they are pointing to and not the actual values. So that was a short topic, guys, on some of these important concepts which you must understand, primitives and non-primitives, and how double equal and triple equal are different. Thank you, guys. See you in next chapter, probably with another important topic. Please do like and subscribe.